It's a security as a software company traded right here on the NASDAQ, and they got some interesting news to announce. We'll tell you what it is right now. Hello everyone, I'm Jabari Young here at the NASDAQ market site, your Forbes senior writer and editor, and I am joined by Peter George, the CEO of Evolv Technologies. Thank you so much for joining me, sir. This Evolv, they are the maker of a weapons detection system, get that right, as well as making touchless security screening products. And you want to replace the metal detector. That's easy, and we get into all of that and more, so I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thrilled to be here.
Absolutely,
Thanks, Jabari.
absolutely. Now listen, it's Black History Month as we speak, and so I always want to start right there. Your most notable Black History Month figure, somebody who you probably looked up to, and ignore the familiar names, the notable names, the Martin Luther King, someone that maybe we wouldn't think about now that it's Black History Month. Who's inspired you?
Yeah. I would say in the business world, and I actually came from the cybersecurity business before joining physical security. John Thompson was a world-class executive, headed Symantec, a leader in cybersecurity, and then was the chairman of Microsoft up until the last couple of years.
Wow.
So world-class executive, very strategic about everything he did, and somebody that I admired in the business world.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into some strategy now, right? Evolv. You got some news to announce. You are now a partner of the NBA, and looking forward to see what that is. Now listen, people may use Evolv. I know we use it to get into this very building. You walk right in, nobody checks you. You don't have to put any stuff, you pull any of your things out. I love that. And now you're with the NBA. Explain this partnership. Yeah,
so we've been partnering with all the other professional sporting teams for the last couple of years. And now we're partnering with the NBA. So today, 8 NBA stadiums are using our technology today. And they're, like all the other professional sporting teams, want a consistent high-level fan experience, starting with making the venue safer, but then secondly, making the fan experience second to none. And the idea of walking into an NBA game and not divesting of your metal like you normally do when you go through a metal detector, and unless you have a weapon on you, being able to walk right in is an amazing experience for people. And we've seen great statistics on guest services and the fan experience, NPS scores go up, but mostly we're making the venue safer, which is the primary reason we exist. Absolutely. And listen, you're with the Footprint Center, right, with the Suns, Ball Arena, the Nuggets, Toyota Center with the Rockets. I was at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium down in Atlanta, and that's when I first realized, wait a minute. That's Evolv, right? I know we were talking with your PR team about doing this for quite some time. Also with the Houston Texans and Minnesota Wild, National Hockey League. Again, you are now covering all sports, the majors on the landscape. What is that going to do for the business, Peter? I mean, listen, I'm looking at the company, again, traded on the NASDAQ. It's not the best price of a stock, but at the same time, still a young company, just hit the public markets, in 2001 via a SPAC. What is this deal? 2021, that's right. Was that July 2021? What is this deal going to do for the value of the company, and how is it going to maybe increase your stock price? Yeah, so professional sports is a natural place for us to be, right? And this is a $20 billion total available market. $2 billion is regulated, so think about airports, prisons, and professional sports. But the other $18 billion are all those other places, schools and hospitals, museums, performing arts venues, where people gather and want to gather safely, but couldn't do it with that old technology. So back to professional sports. The power of the professional sports is so many people go into those games. An NFL game, Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the Falcons, 82,000 people experience Evolv. And when they go through and they see lines have either gotten shorter or virtually gone away, and they walk right in from the street to their seat without taking out anything, it's game changing. And so it's a really important market because not everyone knows us today. We're not a household name yet, but we certainly want to be. But when you go to a professional sporting game or even a college game where we are, and you walk right in, it's such a different experience. Those are moms and dads thinking about their kids at school. Those are doctors and nurses that go into the hospitals. 70% of workplace violence is in healthcare, and so it gives us the brand recognition to finally say, hey, there's technology out there today that actually can change everything. It's not a metal detector, it's a weapons detector, and unless you're carrying a weapon, you get to walk right in. So it's giving us enormous exposure we wouldn't normally get. So long and short of it is we love professional sports for that reason.
Yeah, listen, it takes time for new products like yours for people to adapt to them. They don't want to leave out of their comfort zone. Business is already in. So, you know, how do you expand that? I know I was looking through your 10K reports and you were saying that a key piece of revenue for you guys is the annual recurring revenue.
Yes.
Right? And I would assume that this NBA deal may be that, but also within that 10K report, a lot of the machines that you're using, their pilot programs, is this NBA one, is that a revenue deal or is it a pilot for them to maybe see if they want to advance that?
Yep. So we've already been sanctioned by all the other professional sporting teams. We're on their authorized screening list.
Right.
It started with the MLB and then NFL and MLS, and now in conjunction with basketball and NHL, because those stadiums are oftentimes shared.
Right.
So when people use us, they put us in. It's a 4-year contract, not 1 year. During that time, there's a sensor platform you walk through, but during that time, they have a 48-month or 4-year subscription. And one of the values of our technology, because it's security, we have to stay on the cutting edge of the adversary, so we update our software all the time. So 4 times a year, we add the new scans that we've gotten from all of our other customers. We've screened 1 billion people, Jabari, to date. We take those scans, we make our system smarter, the security better, and the efficacy better, and our customers love that.
Yeah, and 2.3 million people per day, you guys estimate you scan?
We are screening today on an average day even more people than the TSA, which is amazing. And of course, they're using dumb metal detectors. They don't even know arrival rates or who's coming through. We capture that data, and we can use that data to make our system smarter.
Well, let's kind of piggyback on that, because I believe you guys were, you know, kind of awarded recognition by Homeland Security, U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Why not TSA? Why aren't they incorporating your tech? Because everybody hates airport lines, right? If we can avoid them, we get through. Why? What is the taking so long for them to maybe implement, you know, Evolv technology into airports, which would probably help your revenue a lot? Yeah,
well, the truth is there's 1 million lanes of metal detectors, mostly at airports. The TSA's responsibility is to create a sterile environment, right? Because you're going onto a plane, you're going in the air, and there's 500 people on the plane. Something could bring that plane down and kill a lot of people quickly. So it has to be sterile. And even though we hate that line, we're willing to wait in that line sometimes because we know what's at risk. We're focused on the untapped market, the 18 billion of places that always wanted security, but their only alternative was that dumb metal detector. Most of them did nothing, right? Those are places now that say, wow, now I can create a frictionless experience, put systems in, people walk right in without breaking stride and know when they get in, there's no weapon there. So long and short of it, we're focused on that $18 billion TAM of museums and schools and places that wanted security and now can have it because there's technology that can help.
Yeah, and one of the school districts you're in, I believe, is Charlotte. You have your systems down in the
Charlotte. Mecklenburg is one school. We're in 700 school buildings today.
9 states still across the U.S.?
Not even more than 9 states. I think more like 40 states.
Okay.
And we, in the morning, in a Monday to Friday morning, typical morning, we're helping 325,000 kids get into school in a safer way, which it talks to our mission like nothing there is. I have 4 kids. My daughter's a 2nd grade teacher at a school. And the thought that on the 2nd day of every school year, and she's been a teacher for 10 years, that she's hiding under a desk teaching her kids, her 8-year-olds, how to hide from a bad guy with a gun is criminal. So we have technology now that can make schools safer, and we're really proud about that. It represents about 50% of our business.
Absolutely. And then also, you still with Wynn Casinos, Six Flags, Dollywood, just got the deal with ASM Global, again, the Charlotte School District. And then you have some notable investors, Theo Epstein, Peyton Manning, Bill Gates at one point. I don't know if he's still an investor. Jeb Bush through his Finback Investment Partners. All those still investors in the company? Yeah,
most of them are. We don't know exactly the profile. Bill Gates, Bill and Melinda invested in our company in the very beginning. They're still our largest investor.
Phenomenal.
They chose our company because they saw our AI weapons detection technology as game-changing, and they're still one of our largest investors. We do have those notable sports figures because they understand the challenges of getting thousands of people into a game in a couple hours. It's really hard.
Yeah.
So we can use technology to make the venue safer, but also reduce, if not eliminate, the lines. It's huge for them. So they do like that.
Yeah. Let's look into the business a little bit, right?
Yeah.
When you entered the public markets, July 2021, it was about a $1.3 billion total enterprise value, you had said, in the SPAC announcement. And this SPAC is with New Hold Investment Corp. It was a blank check company formed in 2020, and now is that business combination again approved. And here you are, right? This is a company that is a $700+ million market cap right now in the NASDAQ as we sit February 11th. It was a $8.30 August 2023. That was a high in 2021. It was as high as $12.90, I believe. And then it fell to a low of $2.41 in March 2023. But I look around and I keep seeing brokerage firms saying, buy, 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 buy. Why would someone buy a stock that is sitting at the $5 point?
Yeah. Well, let's start with the problem we're solving.
Yeah.
We have a gun violence epidemic in America. There are more guns than people, over 400 million guns. Guns just overtook car accidents as the #1 reason why teenagers die. And there's a lot of anxiety in the world, and people know it. And it's almost, last year there were 648 mass shootings in America. So too many guns, too much anxiety, too many people. Everyone knows it's a problem, and everyone also knows the only technology prior to Evolv available to stop weapons from going into places was a dumb metal detector, which was fantastic for finding metal 100 years ago. We all carry metal today, our iPhones, our keys, not very good at finding weapons. So we're using the most contemporary technology. Think about advanced sensors, big data software, and artificial intelligence to flip the model, which is to say we're assuming you don't have a weapon until you do, right? We create a magnetic field, let you walk in, and if you have a weapon, we can identify you, put a box around the threat and quickly resolve it, but mostly people can just walk in a frictionless way because most people aren't carrying a weapon around. So that's the reason why this problem, when people walk through our system and experience our security, and it's so different than a metal detector, everyone has an aha moment. So that's the reason why. Big problem to solve, really contemporary technology. Nobody does it the way we do it today. And you know, we're the world leader in the space, and we're barely at 1% of the market opportunity to grow.
Yeah. Flashback, right? When you were CEO of this company, January 2020, if I'm not mistaken, and July 2021, again, you guys went public. Why did you become CEO? Why did you want to take on this role, being as though your cyber background? You could have stayed in the cybersecurity space. I was just with U.S. National Security Director Harry Coker in Washington, D.C. He says that we need jobs, we need people down here doing cyber. You could have stayed in the cybersecurity space and made a lot of money. Why take on the CEO role?
Because of the mission, because I had to, because I was called to. So I spent 20 years in the cybersecurity space, loved it. Ran a couple of companies. One of them actually did the forensics work on the DNC breach, along with CrowdStrike and Palo Alto Network. So I felt very privileged to be in that industry. Having said that, over 20 years, a lot of investment in cybersecurity, lots of dollars flowing into it, and too many companies, 5,000 companies in cybersecurity chasing the same CISOs. Very noisy, crowded market, an important market. I was shocked, Jabari, when I learned about Evolv. The idea that our founders took the most contemporary cyber-like technology to solve this problem, and the only alternative was a metal detector. I knew there was a really big thing to go do, a big, valuable company to go build, an iconic company to build, and also I fell in love with the mission. The idea to do something that was bigger than you. I just felt called to do it. So I love working here, and everybody in the company, all the Evolvers, we wake up every day, think about this problem and what we can do to solve the problem tomorrow.
I know this is probably an easy one, so I'm not going to let you get the easy way out, right?
Okay.
It's easy to say the pandemic because you took over in January in 2020. A few months later, we have a pandemic. I'm sure you got caught by surprise like everybody else, but take that out of the equation. What's been the biggest positive surprise about Evolv and you running as CEO?
I was really surprised, to be honest, that metal detectors was the only innovation in the industry. Or what I should say is, there hadn't been any innovation. I was surprised that nobody was using contemporary AI technology to solve a really, it's a hard problem to solve, but to solve something that was so urgent in the world today. So the big surprise was learning that, and then as people came out of COVID and saw there was now technology that could allow people to gather together in a different way, that was a surprise, and our business just accelerated. We first started winning all the theme parks, and those were the places, if you remember, Dr. Fauci was saying we could gather again, but it needs to be outside. You can't be in a line and nobody could touch your stuff. Well, metal detectors can't do that. And our customers were pushing hundreds of metal detectors in a closet using our technology, and we helped open up Six Flags and a lot of our key customers, and then it went from theme parks to schools and performing arts venues. We're here in New York today. A lot of the key museums and performing arts venues in the city, including the New York Mets at Citi Field, are using our technology. Yeah. Super proud of that.
Absolutely. Also, the Georgia Aquarium. I had a chance to take my daughter. I was at Mercedes-Benz, and I go right down the street, the Georgia Aquarium, and there's Evolv. Positive surprise, that's great. What's been the biggest negative surprise?
Yeah, I would say we're in the education phase. When a company is transforming an industry and we're transforming physical security, we're doing the digital transformation of physical security, there's a lot of resistance, right? Our decision makers are former law enforcement, former military, three-letter agencies, but they're used to doing it the same way. And because they haven't had exposure to Evolv, there's an education process that we need to take them through and take the public through for them to appreciate what new technology can do to help with the problem. There's no perfect security. We can buy down risk, we can layer security. These guys are the most sophisticated security men and women in the world, but it's new technology for them. So the education for them takes more time than we thought. And the brand awareness, right? Again, people don't know us. We went to be a public company. We were an undersized company and we're growing into ourselves in the public market. But the more systems we put out there, and we have more than 4,000 now around the world, you've experienced them in some places. When you walk through and say, wow, I just got screened, this is so different, it's really helping
I don't walk through, I just walk through, and I'm like, listen, when I see Evolv there, I'm like, oh good, I'm gonna empty out my stuff, right? Because there's still a few arenas that are using metal detectors. I was just at one, I'm not gonna say their name, Philadelphia 76ers, but at the same time I had to take off my belt, all this other stuff, and it was only like a coat pin that was, I'm like, are you serious?
Who wants to do that, to go see your favorite basketball game or to see Taylor Swift? We've screened 2 million Swifties over the last 6 months or so, and we're going to do the ones out in Melbourne. No one wants to do that, to go in and see their favorite sports team or see the concert. It's one thing with an airplane, but we don't want to do that anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here at the NASDAQ market site, ready to wrap up a little bit, but again, we were talking about sports. Let's bring it right back to it. Again, you're with the NBA now in that partnership. What do you like about the NBA, and why is this league maybe going to help Evolv take their company to the next level?
Well, look, the NBA has a phenomenal product, right? I mean, everyone loves to go watch basketball. I'm from Boston. We have a great team up there.
When the players play, we do. And when they rush, no.
But we have a great team up in Boston. We love to see them. I can walk from my home to DD North, and they're going to be a customer next week, actually. So we're actually in Massachusetts. And in New England, we have more than the trifecta, because we have the MLB, the NFL, the MLS, and now we have TD North, so we get both the NBA and the NHL, and we just got Boston College. So thrilled about that and getting into a city to do that. But I mean, the NBA is just a great product, and people want to go to the game and go have fun and know they can be safe, and now they can walk right in, not divest of their things, and get to their seat with their families and enjoy the game.
Are you guys in Indiana? That's where the All-Star game is this coming year. So, are you in that?
They're not using our technology today, but we will be there working on a fan-first event around it. But you know, we just began our partnership with the NBA, so we have 8 NBA arenas today, and of course, you know, there are a lot more to go get, and we're going to work with them over the next couple of years and partner with them to make the fan experience amazing, and it starts with making them safer.
Yeah. How did you have to? Did you have to pitch Adam Silver and Mark Tatum? Did you have to kind of like sit down and explain to them why this was good?
We did. We work with their security team, and they have a phenomenal security team. They know what they're doing, so that it wasn't easy to tell our story to them.
Absolutely.
They got us.
Yeah. Wrapping up here, let's get into some macroeconomic stuff before I let you go. Geopolitics. How is it affecting Evolv's technology? How is it affecting your supply chain? You got problems in the sea, in the Middle East. Wars going on, right? Ships being diverted around Africa instead of through shortcuts. How is that impacting your business? Geopolitics, the wars, and then also you have an election year.
Yeah. Great question. Well, a couple of years ago, there was a global supply chain problem that impacted everybody, including us.
Yeah.
And we had to really over-engineer how we made sure that we had enough systems to put in. But that's pretty much gone away. So I would say that we don't have a global supply chain problem. And just the anxiety and the polarization around the world and wars have people on high alert. And of course, our technology, wherever it goes, as people gather, they think about some of the stresses in the world, and having technology that can create safer zones for people to gather, it's actually a good thing for us. So we feel privileged to be in a position where technology can help people gather together in a new way, even amongst all the things that are going on in the world, and it's helping our business.
One word that everybody keeps saying, I don't know if it's a bad word, a good word, I guess depending on how you look at it, is the word called de-globalization. Right, we went through a period where globalization was good, prices were great because of it, and now we're entering a very, very dangerous era where de-globalization could be on the rise. If it is, how is that going to impact your business?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to. I think our business is, it's just appropriate when people gather that people want to be safe, and now technology can help, so we think it can help. We're today, 98% of our business is here in North America. The primary weapon that people use for mass casualties are guns. We have too many guns here, so we're spending our time here. But as people gather in stadiums around the world, it's places that we want to be, and they want us there. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. And speaking of guns, listen, we can't ignore the fact that, just a mega church down in Houston just went through an issue with gun violence. And so when you see these things continuously pop up, is that what you use to tell your clients, listen, you guys need to adopt this because it's going to help maybe not have those many incidents like, we talk about a church, right? If you can't even go to a church without somebody coming and having to work, where can you go? Yeah.
No, it's true. This is a problem everywhere. No vertical or no state or no place is going to be free from that. So using technology to help is really important. And when something bad happens, we normally have a moment of silence in our company, and then we go back to work. We write better code. We work really, really hard to get more systems in place, because the more systems we can put in schools and in hospitals to protect people, maybe we can prevent the next thing from happening. Knowing there's no perfect prevention, but technology can help, and we were purpose-built to solve this problem.
Absolutely. Well, listen, get you out of here on this. Jim Collins wrote a great book, Good to Great, and appreciate the time again, and using your security background and what you're doing now with touchless, security screening products. What is the difference between a good security company and a great one?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. We are at the crosshairs of both physical and cybersecurity. And I think we're the only company that's digitized the safety problem. And the idea of integrating physical and cybersecurity so you can have the threat intelligence and situational awareness, protect people, but also to communicate to everybody that there's no perfect prevention, that the people that make these decisions are smart. They know there's no perfect solution, but if we can buy down risk and be transparent with our customers about what the technology can and can't do, I think we're doing as much as we can to help our customers. And to me, greatness is working together to solve an important problem for your customers and being transparent, and we work really hard to do that.
Absolutely. Well, listen, sir, good luck to you. Being a public company is not easy. You got the fees, all of your finances are all there on display. I had a field day looking at this stuff last night, and I know it's not easy because you're exposed, right? And there's certain things that I know I see in a 10K report. Investors may see it, may turn them off, but again, you are solving a problem, so good luck to it, because I get to walk into this very building every day Wednesday, using Evolv, or when I'm here on Mondays, I should say,
Yeah.
using Evolv. So definitely appreciate the time here at the NASDAQ market site.
Yeah.
Peter George, the CEO of Evolv. We'll see you next time.